This meeting, 10 o'clock, here to discuss the LATCF funding updates and decisions on a couple of different issues, but starting with the solid waste folks.
So last time I presented the case backhoe, but Jeff asked me to look into the John Deere. So here are those two. So the John Deere came in considerably lower. The problem with the John Deere is we have a set of tires that would work on the case. We don't have a set of tires for the John Deere.
Okay.
Here is a quote for the tires for the John Deere. And with the new tires, we're still coming in below what the case was.
Tires.
Does it come with tires?
It does, but we don't
Not the
use
tires
the
that we
rubber
have to
tires.
run.
We
Yeah.
have to use the hard tires.
I have another quote if you want to take a look at that one. But
Okay.
Must include a spare.
boy, you would think, right?
Yeah, that's a
$14,000 for 4 tires. However many we have.
That's 4 tires. But then, so this is 9,000, and the McLarens are what we run right now. You know, it's why we went with McLaren, is they had the better pricing. So
All right, so for the public, we are looking at from the John Deere $132,000 for the backhoe loader, plus $9,000 for tires to make it operable.
correct. Now the tires that are on the case, we can pull those off. They will fit our cat backhoe. So when that goes up to auction, we don't have to lose that set of tires.
So that's the total with the $132,950 and the $9,160, so about $143,000. And the next closest was the, well, the John Deere was the one we did.
It was.
You comfortable with John Deere?
Yeah, it has all the same as the case. There's no DEF, there's no DPF. It's just a bare bones. You know, they call it the municipality model.
Okay.
So,
And they have it in stock.
so that's another impressive thing. Actually, they would have that to us by December, as to where a case would be June.
Okay, so this would be a better all the way around.
It also has a longer warranty. It includes oil and filters up to 3,000 hours.
Well, I wasn't here for the initial meeting, so what was the discussion there? You ran that one.
Yeah, what we were going to do is we were looking at he had bids for the other one that was a case, and then we decided to possibly look into John Deere, and it looks like John Deere's actually a little better deal.
So with John Deere, the county used to run all John Deere up until 10 years ago or so, and then they would switch to CAT. Sorry. So John Deere wants back into the county essentially. You know, that's why that is so aggressive.
And they're local, that baby machinery
Yeah.
over there in Washington, Spokane.
Yeah. Can you give us a little history on, like, one of the meeting I missed? We hadn't even discussed buying equipment, so I missed that presentation. Like, what came up?
Okay, basically what we're looking at is their backhoe. They've got one right now that's a lease, and they're having to park it. And so we're looking at, they're going to have to replace that one soon anyway. So they were proposing a new backhoe and also a new haul truck. Their haul truck that they have right now, they're doing 3 loads a day, so they're having to use the 1,000,000-mile truck that they were going to save. And so that's why we looked at the haul truck as well.
And Rich, you explain it because of it being broke down and in the shop all the time. And
So I went ahead. This is all the repair bills on our backup backhoe. That was for 1 year.
What was the total?
13,000. Yeah. It's that piece of equipment is nickel and diming us to death.
Is that the John Deere?
That is the case.
The case.
Case, yeah.
Okay, you still have the John Deere with the 2,200 hours?
18,000 hours. We do still have it. The backhoe's broken in half right now, and I'm working on repairing it, but it will never be the same. It's a 2004, and they do not actually make that part anymore. That's why I'm having to repair it.
So we're short, probably kind of short of backhoe. If that one goes down there, and the other one, it's just,
And that John Deere has been like the best backup backhoe we've had.
It runs. Unfortunately, things fatigue. That's why the backhoe fell off.
Yeah, that is a sign of fatigue.
Yeah.
And the dollar amounts were for the backhoe approved 151,290, and then the Freightliner truck 148,000 were approved based on what was presented.
And when were those approved?
10-4.
Oh,
The
so you've
fourth.
already done the approval.
we
of
do
that
have the
meeting.
approval. Yep.
See, I didn't know that. I missed that fact. Okay.
And this was I asked Richard to come because it was really changing the whole dynamic of what was approved. It was the equipment, the amount, everything. So I
Yeah.
did ask Richard to come in and re-present that to you and show you what, and make sure that you were still okay with those dollar amounts.
Okay. I think the John Deere is a better deal, and I think maybe we should, look at that one.
Yep.
Instead of the case.
Now, my question is, would we be able to do the tires with the LATCF fund, or would that come out of my tire budget?
I don't
It's
see-
eligible. That would be up to you on where you would like it to come from.
My concern is not that they need the equipment. I understand that. Is that I'm trying to figure out how to preserve LATCF as long as we can.
Well, we have so much that we have to spend by next year, right?
Not the
No.
LTCS
Okay,
one.
Okay,
That's the other one.
that's the other one.
Where are we sitting with our balance with LATCF?
Today, before today's meeting and before my meeting with Tammy last night, there will be more coming out because I'm still getting those numbers coming in, but 3.6 million. And that's before the county, what the county budget pulled into the LATCF out of the budget.
Which was how much?
Question for Tammy, I haven't done all
I
the numbers
didn't
yet,
figure
we're
all
still
that.
working on that.
As a total, but, for capital move, we moved 248,970 for, automobiles, 163,343, that's paying off the current leases that we have. For big equipment, 38,500. For computer arts upgrade, total of approximately 7,000. Viva, 69,250. And stop grant, 25,000. I didn't total those together.
Okay.
And then we also have to add the copiers.
And Mr. Chairman, I also, okay, go ahead. Sorry. Mr. Chairman, I also want to look at, our current financial situation, and, we're gonna need this equipment next year or the year after, so I think this is the time to do it.
I see.
Also, I'd like to add too, if we do get the new backhoe, the old case will go up for auction, so that money would go back into the LATCF.
Can we do that? We can auction it off and put it back into the LATCF?
Yeah, you can reimburse that.
Okay. With or without tires?
We have a set of tires for it. They are the regular tires, not our solid tires. We'd be able to keep that set of tires for the Cat, which the Cat is coming up on needing some rear tires probably by next spring. So
Will your tire budget cover these tires?
nothing else.
Okay. So basically, we spent about 500,
Close to 600,000, 587,000.
587. Yeah, so we've got,
Is that including these?
so that leaves us at about.
The numbers that Tammy gave me, Richard's was already included. And then what I'm expecting from the plumbing upgrades that we're going to discuss a little later today. Yeah, that was 587,000.
Leaving us a little less than 3.
Right at 3.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, Commission, what do you want to do?
I think we should go with the John Deere instead of the case.
And we've already voted to approve, so all we're doing is voting
Just
on the
switch it out.
change.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I would be inclined to include the tires, and then upon auction off of the vehicle, it'll go back into the LA's. Yep. That way, if something goes on one of the other vehicles, they have tire funds
Exactly,
still.
they've got quite a few other vehicles. And how long is it going to take for that truck to be built again?
April, May is what they're saying.
Okay.
Okay, so I've heard your wishes. You want to put that in the form of a motion?
I motion that we approve the John Deere backhoe instead of the case backhoe. The John Deere backhoe is $132,950 plus the tires in the amount of $9,165.
Okay, one second.
I will second that.
Discussion, further discussion? Comments, Madam Clerk, anything?
No.
Grant, Queen, any further thoughts?
That's what I needed.
Final thoughts?
Thank you very much. We definitely appreciate it.
Well, we have to vote now, but. All right, anything else from the commission?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. So the motion carries to do that and include the tires. Okay, I've never met a guy with $10,000 tires before, so.
Come on down, I'll see you a couple of sets.
Show me some.
How long do they last?
So the McLaren tires, the rears that are on the Cat right now have over 6,000 hours on them. They last a long time. The fronts we're only getting about 4,000 hours out of, but the rears, like I said, it's got over 6,000, and we'll probably make it until springtime. So we'll be over 7,000 hours on them. So they definitely last. But typically is what we do is we split them up. We only buy, fronts 1 year, or we only buy drivers 1 year. We never buy a full set because of this.
Okay, so instruct you guys to do less turning.
Forward and back, that's
Forward
it.
and back, because we really can't afford more tires.
So we can't have the burnout contest anymore.
No. Burnout, solid waste is done. All right. We had some other LATCF things to consider.
We do. So in August, we had talked about the airport things that were going on. So the payment by the hangars, the gas and new stove, and those had dollar amounts that were approved. What I was waiting on was the bids for the plumbing upgrades. So we did receive those. There was an Eagle Plumbing and I know there's another one in here. Oh crap, did I print this in there twice? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I printed that. Nope, there it is. Okay, yeah. And those, Eagle came in at $15,350, and the Rooter guys were a range of 14 to 15. So it was just reviewing the bids and saying yes, you were okay with. I think Eagle was the choice out there. So I'll let you kind of go over the process there, and that we have the bids and just approve the bids, the dollar amount, so that we can.
We approved the bids before, right?
That's today. The last meeting we were waiting on the bids, so that's why.
Okay.
Okay.
What
While we're
was
looking at it.
Eagle, the airport plumbing, was in pretty sad shape, and so it needed to be redone. There was leaks underneath the house, sewage leaks, and so the and the water line, so they replaced all the plumbing in the airport building. So we had, the Rooter guys come out and do a bid, and then we had, what's the other person, the other?
Eagle.
Eagle come out, and Eagle could do it right away. The Rooter guys, they weren't getting back to us, so we chose Eagle. And
So we need a motion to approve the bid from Eagle.
And Eagle was a lower bid of the.
yes, the other one's a range, but
But timeliness.
Timeliness.
Because we had sewer leak. All right, would you like to make a motion?
I'll motion to approve Eagle as the contractor.
Okay. Would you like to second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
The dollar amount is $15,350.
It's 15,000 even, because that was because we approved 15 grand before for this, and so they're going to take 15 grand.
Okay, so you have that seat. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries for that one. Okay. Next on your list?
All the dollar amounts for budget, and I will have Tammy talk about that. She has a better handle on it.
So, during our August 25th budget meeting, you guys approved to move a lot of items out of our budgets and into LATCF for funding. So in order to reserve that funding, I had Colleen, we created fund numbers for each one of those, and I gave them to Colleen. She's gonna build them in at the amount that was proposed in the budget to move. And so we're gonna move all of them. Currently, we are in the process of getting payoff amounts on the vehicles. So, Jerry's office did provide the one for the appraisal rig, and it was currently budgeted for $4,983. And the payoff amount, if we get it paid off before October 31st, is gonna be $4,888. So we save about $100 on that one. And then the other ones that we have are, one is the solid waste one to pay off. We need to get a payoff amount on that.
That's
was
the
for your-
Freightliner or the?
It's the cap.
Okay.
We don't have a lease on the Freightliner. I don't have anything on the Freightliner.
Okay. That's interesting.
So,
That's a good look.
so if there is something,
There is.
so here is.
You need to get the cat pay off for you.
That's the only thing I have on our lease schedule, and we budgeted 58,360.
Okay, so that is for both of them, because the cat, if I remember right, was,
We had 18,000
20.
something of payment, annual payment,
okay, yeah.
and then we had a final payout or buyout of 45,000. So I'm not sure. Is that still? I don't know. You guys will have to figure that out.
What payoff date do you want it for?
Well, as soon as we can get it paid off, because we saved the interest.
Okay, well, I already asked for the payout. That's one of the things I presented at the meeting 2 weeks ago. And I believe the payout was good
Well, you can have
until
it.
middle of this month. I do have the paperwork on both items actually
Okay.
back in my office, so I have to send it to
What
you.
was the total?
I don't remember. Yeah.
Is it more than 58,000? For both of them?
Yes.
It was 60 something, wasn't
I think it was. I think it was like, what was it, 61 or?
Just want to adjust that
67?
total with
61,
Colleen
67.
too. And then the sooner we get it, I mean, we can save a lot of money in interest on those,
Okay.
which we did not budget for in this year at all. So, sooner the better.
Okay.
So that I do have the cat, and it had a 19th payoff of $60,845.99.
So that's just the cap, not
Just the cat, though. Yeah. And then I had the other, but I wasn't sure what rig that went to. So
That was the Freightliner.
Okay.
Yeah.
and that had to pay off at the end of September. So we
Okay.
need to change that.
So really what we are doing today is just educating you that we have moved, I'm not gonna say, we've moved the allocations to LATCF by creating a fund for it and deciding what that dollar amount will be. But it depends on which department to get those back to us with cancel. The other one is the sheriff's office on the vehicles. And there are 8 of them that should have a payoff plan. And hopefully by the 1st of October, so we can clean up. Because they go back, all the way out to 27. So that's a lot of interest. Once we get them paid off.
And so you've already asked the sheriff for that.
I have not yet. So we just did it last night, so I'll send an email to get with your vendors. There's 2 banks, Columbia Bank and First Interstate Bank, and pay them both off completely. So,
I like saving interest. The good part of this. Okay.
and then the payoffs, should actually go through Holly. And she'll be managing that side of it and request the checks. But,
So I'll
So-
need the paperwork on all the payoffs, just email it over so that I can go to the county and do some comments.
Right. So then the other items that we added, there we go, were, all of the capital amounts that we had set aside in every budget, with the exception of roads. And they're the exception in all of these because they kept all of theirs. And we just moved those funds. I don't know what they were planned for. I don't track that until, other than what they asked for in their budget. But didn't get approved. I have those sheets. They have them too. So they'll just have to, when they're ready to buy something with those funds,
We'll have to run it through.
they'll have to run it through. Some of them I know are copiers, prosecutor's copiers, 10 grand. So when they're ready to do that, which, it's not in the budget now, so they can't get it now, so they'll have to go through LATCF. And all those capital items add up to $248,970. Estimated. I don't know what they'll actually spend. One of those was your hangar out at the airport. It was a $95,000 one that you guys set aside. So I'm assuming that capital budget purchase is what we just approved here, but it was only $95,000. Right? You can make it whatever you want, but that's all we moved out of the budget.
For a hanger?
No,
Oh,
no.
you said hanger and then you said.
Airport was first, so I'll go to the second.
I'm like,
You don't have a hanger.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd be nice to have a hanger to store all that equipment, but no, you guys had requested 95,000. And then, we moved all your capital out, so there isn't any capital there anymore, and there's no lease money anymore in the budget, so. And leases, anything that we wanna get now, we do not wanna do through a lease, cause that's gonna obligate us for the next several years that we just got out of that mess, so. Would have to be purchased, which you just approved the 2 for that purchase, but originally we'd only budgeted 95 for that. And other big ones, sheriff's office has 35, 40,000. Different things. So the others are pretty minimal. Buildings and grounds was 30,000, and all that's fine for that. And then we also moved the other items that we said would be LATCF, and that's data processing software and equipment, to 38,500, and computer art upgrades to reserve, it's approximately 26,000 something for the computer arts upgrade over the next 5 years. 9,000 of that being this year, but we will have it reserved in LATCF for the whole thing. And then VIBA, for all employees except for road department. Rather than doing a line item for every department that has people that would get VIBA, we just put it all under 1035, which is the commissioner's budget at $69,250. So when you get ready to do VIBA, it would all come out of LATCF funding at that rate and be paid out of there. And then road department would have their own. And then 25,000 for stop bus match. And we need to fund that for the next 4 years. Also, we budgeted 25,000 for this year, but realistically, it's 100,000 that will come out of it because it's to cover 4 years worth, so we don't have to cover that match for the bus every year out of where do you have that community projects. And I haven't put the copiers in there yet.
Which I do have the copiers already in here.
We have the line item for
So-
doing them, but we didn't actually.
You have the amounts for them.
Yeah, for
'cause I wanna
total
verify
copiers.
how much they are with Brent.
We've already got that. I gave you the.
So I couldn't find the lease ones, and I'm not sure where I buried that, but
Okay.
we'll go through. But I do have the new purchase bids.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of them are gonna be paid off in January anyway,
Yeah.
but there are some that are not, so we wanna pay off those as well, one of those being the prosecutor's one, and I believe the other is the sheriff. I thought there was one other one, but I don't know, I'll have to look into that. And so my thought was to originally have each department do their own lease stuff and get their quotes, but for the copiers, I'm gonna have Melissa just contact the vendor, so it's all one vendor. And have her get an estimate to pay off all the copiers that we currently have in the lease and just get it over with. And then we'll run, the maintenance charges will be in each budget going forward for their copier.
Okay.
That's the only ones that we had to move.
Should we need any action at this point from us? This is,
Not really, I mean, you guys already on August 25th said that, yeah, do it, so. Now it's up to each department head to manage their own stuff working, through the board for Thanksgiving.
okay. The important thing is that they get you those payoff information on time.
Timely matters, yeah.
Which will take care of that with reaching out to the departments on.
I am not going to. No, I'm only going to reach out to the sheriff down on the cars. Because nothing else has been, there's anything else to really do, other than the copiers, and I'm gonna have Melissa do that.
Yeah.
But all these other things are, I mean, each department's gonna know what they want when they want it in their capital, I'll have nothing to do with it.
Okay, I just wanna make sure, counting on us to tell somebody something that we dropped the ball. So,
And that would be something I'll work with you, whether I send it out or whether you guys send it out as a just reminder to the department heads that when you're doing anything that was moved out of, that please send that to me so that we can get those coded, because that'll save the back end where they get the nasty grants from the vendors that said we want this paid because, or having to do the whole switch it around because it came out of their budget and wasn't supposed to be. So just a reminder of anything that was moved out of your budget to please send that my direction so we can code it and get it in the right place.
okay. All right. What else have you got?
That's it.
Well, let me ask, Mr. Assessor, did you want to discuss that map software just as a discussion item that you brought up in email, or is that still in the researching?
It's in the researching. I just was seeing if other departments have an interest in it. Which I know I've brought this up before. For instance, up the North Fork in the St. Joe, those camp areas that pay no solid waste. That imagery would be great if someone ever took on that project, because it's clear enough you can distinguish whether it's a pump house or a camper or so you can identify those as you're in those areas. But it would be nice to have, but not a necessity with our budget being the state that it's in. I would have no way to pay that total cost out of my budget. I could probably scrape together a fourth.
Which it was what, 7,000?
77.50, I'm pretty sure. That's kind of what sticks in my mind.
Well, I just wanted to bring it up today as a potential grant. I think you mentioned the idea of grant.
Yeah, see if somebody.
Would it be something like at a department head meeting where we could discuss it with all departments?
Yeah, I could come in and
What's
help
it called?
present that. What's that? Joe?
What's it called that you're looking at?
Was it Geotown? Geo.
Near,
Seen them
near
down
me.
West
Near me.
I'll forward you that you.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
it's beautiful imagery.
Yeah, because that other one that we don't have anymore, you can't use zoom in and it's just like blocky. And you can't tell what anything
It
is.
pixels out, and that's basically what the state tax commission gets for free, and that's their budget, and that's our budget for it.
Mm.
This would be above and beyond what the state tax commission supplies us. The parcel area is ours. The imagery is basically state tax commission, and you can get out of it and go to Google Earth, which is a lot clearer.
Mhm.
Then you lose the parcel lines and ownership and this
Yes.
type of thing. Where we would use it is once you go through and check parcels to see if there's been additions or new construction or any of that.
like if we wanted to enforce building permits.
Right. I think planning and zoning could really utilize it.
And that would be nice because that's a drive to go down to the jail just to look at everything there.
I misquoted. They just basically do the I-90 corridor.
Oh, that's not county.
I think they do it for a Vista, and I've tried contacting someone at the Vista, because in years past we used to have a share agreement that we would pay part and Vista would pay part. But I don't have any contacts there anymore. If somebody had a contact at a Vista,
I know a few. Let me try and see if I can find some.
okay, see.
Anyway, I think it's worth getting everybody together and discussing.
Discussing it. I mean, it's split between 3 or 4 departments. It's a little more reasonable.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
And so whoever they're flying it for is just the main population area, which is the corridor. I forgot they don't go up the North Fork or the
It
Joe.
would be nice if they did because that's where
Yes.
all of the
Yep.
non-paying solid waste people are.
Yeah, non-permit
This is,
Yes.
getting people.
Yes.
and this was one of our vendors that was down there in Boise. Was it?
I'm trying to. I don't think so. He
Okay.
presented at our assessors conference.
Okay.
So it's what the big departments say Coeur d'Alene does is it will take last year's, overlay it this year, and point out that hey, something went on with this structure, and then they can send an appraiser out and take a look at it. But it's not much more cost to fly the Coeur d'Alene area than ours, because they go by square footage. Well, Coeur d'Alene's got a little bit more money than we do, so it's just a minimal cost to Ada or Kootenai or Canyon counties, the small counties. But for instance, several weeks ago, one of the sheriff's deputies came over and asked, well, do you know, is there a fence here, or is this fence still here? Because they were doing some surveillance or maybe a drug bust, and we couldn't answer that question because that imagery we have is 7, 8, 10 years old. If we kept up on it, it'd be every year, and it's something the sheriff's office needs current, where we can get by with 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old imagery. It'd be nice, don't get me wrong. It'd be nice, but make sure the bills are paid and stuff like that's nice also. Yeah.
Is there an annual?
Yeah,
fee?
and that'd be about annually. So it'd be about 7750.
Probably make that back just in one catch.
If we can generate revenue from it, yeah.
That's why I was thinking that it might be a potential for this grant. So let's get a meeting together and see who would be interested in using it.
Okay.
See if we can.
And that near map, I could even have them continue to it. We just did not assume that they were selling the tower offense.
Okay. So some kind of demo for the department heads.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me a date to contact them. And would we be able to do it on one of these screens?
Yeah.
We've had issues with
Well, the internet.
TVs, but yeah, we could share on the TVs.
Yeah, I just did on my laptop at the back table.
If you can.
Yeah, I bet we could
Yeah.
figure it out on these. So.
Yeah, if nothing else, do it to a laptop and just mirror it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you. Let's see. We had another item here in my notes that we wanted to set aside some money for office updates, starting with the clerk's office upstairs on the 3rd floor. We've already talked about that, but at this point, I think we're talking about doing as much in-house as we could with Randy. And so I would entertain a motion that we set aside a few $1,000s for expenses for the in-house portion of this thing, the stuff we can do ourselves without a contractor. Anybody want to make a motion in that direction?
I'll motion. Was there a specific couple?
I mean, we're just setting aside, reserving it, and then 5,000 or something. I don't think we'll go that far, but
I'll motion to set aside 5,000 for the office renovation upstairs for the clerk.
I'll second it.
any discussion on that?
And basically what the 5,000 is for materials and stuff that he's purchasing to finish that up there.
Yeah, so we're clearly doing in-house, not contract. We may end up having to contract an electrician or things like that, but that'd be separate.
Yeah.
This
I
is just our materials.
Yeah, thought it'd be simpler to start. We've got a stack of supplies he's been buying for the construction, so I'll start sending those to you for coding.
Any other discussion on that?
No.
No.
We had a motion, yes.
Second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That's all I had. Do you have anything else?
No.
Do you have anything else? Can you think of anything else?
Not yet. Not till I get my spreadsheet, then I'll have a mind.
And then it'll be a minute. Madam Clerk, anything else?
So we take that off
Okay.
next week's.
All right, with that then, I think we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.